At exactly 1200 a.m., the world changes in a way most people never notice, and the story begins with the narrator awake at midnight, not scared, just restless in a night that feels unnaturally quiet, devoid of insects and distant traffic, with even the air feeling heavy, like it's holding its breath as the digital clock clicks to 12:01, marking the moment when something undeniably feels wrong, not dangerous or violent, just wrong as the narrator starts to notice small details beginning to fail, such as shadows that don't align with their objects, reflections that lag a second too long, and sounds that seem close yet have no identifiable source, while the oppressive silence presses in, making every breath feel amplified in the stillness, leading the narrator to realize that midnight isn't merely a time, it's a threshold into something much more disturbing. As minutes tick by, the environment subtly rearranges itself, with a door that was previously closed now ominously ajar, and a hallway feeling inexplicably longer than it should, causing the narrator to hear a peculiar noise. Not footsteps, but rather the unsettling sound of something nearby, learning how to walk, evoking a sense of curiosity, intertwined with fear, yet whatever it is remains frustratingly elusive and never fully seen, making the narrator acutely aware that the fear does not stem from being watched, but rather from the unsettling certainty that this watcher clearly doesn't understand what it's observing yet. At 12:17 a.m., the unsettling silence is pierced when the narrator hears their name spoken softly, the voice sounding eerily like their own, but hollow and stretched, as if it's echoing from a place where sound doesn't rightfully belong. And when they respond, the voice chillingly replies in unison, repeating the same words at the exact same moment, illustrating the growing understanding that this presence in the dark does not attack, rather it mirrors and studies every aspect of fear, posture, breathing, and thought, existing only during this fragile slice of time, when reality feels weakest, making the narrator realize that midnight is merely a time for the entity to step close enough to attempt to become real. At 12:29 a.m., a sudden wave of horror crashes over the narrator as they comprehend the terrifying truth. This isn't a mere first encounter with the entity lurking in the shadows, but rather it knows their name because it has encountered them before during other nights, other midnights, and with each passing meeting, it got closer. Each time the narrator conveniently forgot, as if remembering came at a steep cost, necessary for survival, all while the atmosphere thickened with fear as the narrator felt an unexpected calmness wash over them, thoughts slowing and fear dissipating too quickly, revealing that the entity doesn't require a chase. It simply seeks permission to bridge the gap with midnight nearing its end, and the being weighing the choice to either depart or remain inside. As the clock flips to 12:30 a.m., the suffocating silence shatters normal sounds, returning to the world like a breath exhaled after being held too long, while the presence that had felt so palpably near now vanishes, leaving the narrator with a belief that they have survived the encounter only for the final line of their story to reveal something profoundly subtle yet devastatingly alarming, a reflection moving on its own, in the corner of their eye, a voice thinking before them, or the chilling realization that they are no longer afraid of midnight at all, hinting instead that something else may have slipped inside, silently joining them in a reality that feels irrevocably altered. As dawn breaks and the room is illuminated in the soft glow of early morning light, the narrator inspects their surroundings with a new sense of unease, observing lingering shadows that stretch oddly across the walls and reflections in the mirror that flicker as if imbued with a life of their own, heightening a swell of paranoia and confusion, compelling them to confront the haunting memory of the midnight encounter, while a close-up shot of the mirror captures the narrator's face distorted by an unsettling smile that does not belong to them, suggesting that the fabric of reality has shifted irrevocably since that fateful night, leaving a chilling question lingering in the air: what truly remains of the person they once were? In the aftermath of that night, the narrator stands alone before the mirror, grappling with an unsettling sense of introspection as they confront the disquieting truth that their reflection appears to move independently, harboring secrets just beyond their comprehension, intensifying the ever-growing dread that festers within them, while as they navigate through their home, every seemingly ordinary object, the chair, the book, the window, feels subtly out of place, unsettlingly shifted, blurring the line between reality and a fragile dream, compelling the narrator to acknowledge that their grasp on what is normal has been irrevocably altered, leaving them ensnared in a reality tinged with the unknown. Seated at the dining table, the narrator grips a cup of coffee, hands trembling as they find themselves staring blankly at a clock whose relentless ticking reverberates like a haunting echo within their mind, each tick raising the disquieting question of whether time is genuinely progressing or if they have somehow become ensnared in an endless loop of moments, while looking out the window reveals an unsettling view of the outside world, vibrant and alarmingly alive as trees sway rhythmically, despite the absence of any wind, casting bizarre shadows that seem to dance in a way that suggests nature itself has been irrevocably altered since that fateful midnight encounter, leaving the narrator gripped by a sense of profound uncertainty about what lies beyond their own perception.